There's a lot of trends and things going on in the world today and what people think they should and shouldn't do. Understanding consumers and knowing what to do to make it so that you give them what they need is the most important thing that you can do in working with them. I mean, I could make up a diet right now. I could say that we do the DNA test, but they get the test now, where you come from, and everybody here comes from a country, I don't know, we all came from the desert. Okay, everybody here, DNA came up from the desert. And because the desert is brown, you should only eat brown foods. Yes, yes. And I can make up a whole diet like that. I'll probably sell 1 million copies. However you want to buy it, and be called, you know, better to be brown by choice.
The desert diet.
The desert diet. And you definitely lose weight because you starve to death in the desert. Did you know that alcohol lowers your blood sugar?
Yes.
So how much alcohol does that mean?
Well, that's more than 1 glass.
Do you think so? When I go to a restaurant, I think this is at least the amount they should pour. Does everybody get a pour of this? So, can I use the alcohol instead of my meds? Lowers my sugar, right? So I say, well, you know, it doesn't actually work in a determinable, controllable way, so it really can't. I'm sorry. Walking around, he didn't feel it when he got low. So my primary thing is to figure out why he was low. In his particular case, he was on an insulin pump. I wanted to find out if he was getting too much insulin in the nighttime, since he was low in the morning. I had to call the pump company because I didn't know how to work that pump, to figure out how to pull up the numbers, because he had no clue how much he was taking. Whoever programmed the pump gave him the same amount of insulin 24 hours. And it was a large dose. The woman on the phone didn't even want to tell me how to change it. Told me that I'm not a doctor. So I asked her for her name. I said, because I want to let you know, I'm documenting in the chart if this patient dies tonight that you refuse to help me. So she told me how to do it. You can do a lot to save somebody's life. You teach them, and then it's up to them to decide what they want to use it for. You know, they don't always listen. Years ago, my mother thought the doctor, anything the doctor said was like gold. People question things today. People make decisions on their own. People Google everything. Does anybody come into you and say, you know, why are you taking that? Well, I saw Dr. Oz. You may not have the time. They may not be covered enough to see you enough times. They might not have the money to pay you. You might be willing to see them for free, but you might not be able to afford to do that. I'm saying that there's only so many options that you have to work with. So you got to figure out what's the best choice for the person in front of you at that moment. And it's going to vary a lot. A lot. And sometimes I'll have somebody that comes in that looks like they're going to do everything I say and they don't do anything I say. And then I have people that come in that fight me every step of the way, and they do everything I say. Unfortunately, on Medicare, they don't always cover the continuous glucose monitors. So depending on who's in front of you will make a difference on what care is available to them. People on Medicaid actually get a lot more covered items than people that are on Medicare sometimes for the continuous monitors. So it's a little shame though, it's a trend, but it's a negative trend. So if you work and you got to the place when you're Medicare, you don't always get the medical treatment you need. Sometimes the drug reps don't visit the dietitians as regularly, and so sometimes you would have to request for them to send you some information. But if you have all that stuff together, all you have to do is pull out the chart and things with the information on when it peaks and how long it works for, and you'll be able to line it up better with your patient. So the people that follow the Atkins diet, do they think it's a healthy diet?
Yes.
Yes.
So I can have bacon cheeseburger with sour cream on it for breakfast, and that with no bread, and that's good. But in your heart of hearts, even if you believe in the Atkins diet, does it sound like a healthy choice in any way whatsoever? But they have put it in that, they've glorified it, made it like this beautiful, wonderful diet. But the truth is that we're all used to excess, because the generations before, and there's a couple of generations here, so but you go back to like the 20s when there was a depression, the grandparents or the parents of some of us that are here today didn't have the abundance. My father couldn't ask for seconds, he had to wait and see if it was offered to him, because they didn't have the abundance of food. And so what did they want for their children but to give them more? And so we are the generations of more. And so people expect more, and so when you cut back, they feel like they're always getting less. Okay, but what about the pan or the cooking sprays? It says fat-free on it. Does anybody know what the number one ingredient on those things are?
Sugar.
Yes, that's close.
Salt, that's salt.
Salt, yes. But wait a second though, let me go backwards now. Doesn't matter what,
3-second spray.
how could it be, how big a spray?
3-second spray. is
Oh, no,
that-
it's worse, it's worse. Pam, I looked the other day, quarter of a second.
Quarter of a second?
Quarter of a second. So you know why it's fat-free? Because nothing comes out. Company wanted low sodium soup. Company wanted it. So I found a low sodium broth and I said, we'll make a little station. We'll have like steamed chicken and steamed shrimp and we'll have bean sprouts and we'll have steamed carrots and we'll have all these things. You put all those things in your bowl, you top it with the low sodium broth, nice little station, and over here we have things like hot sauce and sesame oil and things that they can put on top of their soup. And if they want to add salt, then they can. Great, put up a sign, 20 milligrams of sodium. Good, come back for a visit. I'm coming. They took the sign, it was still there, 20 milligrams of soup, no sodium, no station. They put a number 10 can of tomatoes, number 10 can of beans, and like 5 pounds of sausage, and they had the sign that said 20 milligrams.